welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial on my client and friend, Bianca. Bianca and I met each other through a mutual friend, and then a couple weeks ago, we bumped into each other at Sephora shopping during the VIB sale. And she, like many of you, told me that one of her biggest issues or biggest challenges when doing her makeup is dealing with her hooded eyes. She just doesn't know where to place the colors, what colors to use. Doesn't even really matter what color she uses because with a hooded eye, you can't really see what's going on the lid. So I said to her, why don't you come to my little downstairs studio and I will show you how to do your makeup and we will record it for everyone so everyone can see. So that's what this video is going to show you. It's going to be the makeover I did on Bianca. Now I want to say a few things before I show you the video. Basically, I wasn't even certain if I was going to post it because when you are not shooting yourself, when you are kind of standing there making over someone else, it's definitely challenging to get that on camera. I'm left-handed, so I had to stand to the right of her, and whenever I work on the left side of her eye, it was a little bit difficult because I didn't want to stand in front of the camera and the lighting was kind of hitting her strange. So basically what I'm saying is that when you're seeing the left or the right side of her face, it might not look as good as the other side because I was trying to do it kind of standing to the side of her. So I just wanted to clarify that because if she were just a client that was paying me and was going to go off to an event, I certainly would pay a little bit more attention and have moved from side to side and stood more in front of her than off to the side. So I also attempted to do a cream contour in this video. You guys, if you've watched most of my tutorials, I don't really do cream contour because even when other people do it, I always feel like it's noticeable. I always feel like I can see it. And even if they do the most phenomenal job, I feel like I can still see that cream contour. So I always prefer to do a light contour with a powder. But today, well, yesterday when I filmed this video, I decided, I'm gonna do a cream contour, and yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. So you can refrain from commenting about the contour because I know, I see it. I wish I hadn't done it. But the good news is that it's definitely more apparent on camera than it was in person, because honestly, when I was doing it, when we were face to face, I didn't really notice that it wasn't that well blended. It wasn't until I went back and watched the footage where I was like, that's not good. So like I said, I wasn't even certain if I wanted to put up the video because, yeah, I just know a lot of people are gonna kind of call me out for that contour, especially when it's zoomed in so close. You can obviously, the camera has no filter on it, so you can see everything so clearly. So anyway, I know you're probably like, stop babbling, just get to the video. And I don't know, I felt compelled to address those issues. I know most of you, the majority of you won't mind. You're here just to look at the technique and where the color placement is, and you guys will always be so supportive and not critical. So I thank you so much for that. And I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna get right to the tutorial. Already had put on this Dr. Brandt Pores No More Multi-Performance Stick, and then we used her MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation in NW33, and I applied this with a damp beauty blender all over her face. Now, using Bianca's own Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium, I am taking a large concealer brush, synthetic brush. This one is from Bare Minerals, I believe, and I am blending it out into a triangle shape. I find less is more with this. You don't want to go too heavy. It will be too cakey, especially on a more mature under eye. So once I've blended that out, I am taking a beauty blender and blending it out further, and then taking my finger and pressing the product into the skin so as to not have any creasing under the eyes. Then I immediately go in with the Lorac Beige highlight from the Pro Kit, and I'm using the Bdellium Tools 787 brush. And And here's where my troubles begin. I contoured using the LA Girl Pro concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze, which number one was probably a hair too dark for her. And yes, I really should not have used this day to experiment with cream contour. I had done it before, but it came out a little bit better than this. But anyway, you'll see in a couple seconds when I start blending that I didn't do the best job. Have very oily skin, but she was getting a little bit shiny from being under the lights, so I used a Delium Tools brush, and all the numbers will be listed below. See that unblended contour? The other side that I was standing on was blended just fine. It was the other side that was not looking good. So anyway, setting it with the medium dark mineralized skin finish from MAC, and then I am taking the medium brow powder from Sigma and filling in her brows. This took a little bit of time because I needed to just give them a little bit more fullness, so I'm going to be speeding up this next part. And I just kind of went over with, this is an Anastasia dual-ended brow brush, until I was happy with the shape and the fullness. So for the eyes, I started by applying MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre all over the lid, and then blending it with my thumb, and then setting it once again with that beige highlight from the Little Rock palette. Now I'm using the shade Beau Marais, I don't know if I've pronounced that right, from the Loaded palette from NARS, and I'm taking a flat shader brush, and I am just pressing that on the lid. You don't have to be very precise with this. You just want to follow along into kind of a dome shape on the eye. As you can see, I'm lifting it up a little bit because you just have to do that with hooded eyes. There's really no getting around it because you want to make sure you get the color right up into that crease. And I'm going in and adding more to get the depth of color that I want. Now I'm just taking a clean blending brush and going back and forth in a windshield wiper motion, blending out all of those harsh edges. You don't want any of those harsh edges showing. Now I'm going in with the dark brown that's in the palette. I'm going to put the name down below because I just find them very hard to pronounce. So I'm using a Morphe M506 brush, and I am focusing on the outer corners of her eyes, making that V cat eye shape. Same dark brown and a Stila brush number 28. I am making a soft eyeliner right along the entire length of her upper lash line. And then I'm kind of blending it up into the crease just a little bit. I'm using this lighter brown with a hint of rust to it and a Sigma E47 brush. I am once again going in and just blending out any harsh edges. I do have an entire video on eyeshadow blending that I will put in the description bar that explains all of the movements. This is the windshield wiper movement. And then sometimes I like to take a tissue instead of tape on clients to give me that nice cat eye edge. And then now I am taking a MAC 217 brush and then a little bit more of that rust type of shade that's in the palette. Again, everything will be in the description bar. And blending it a little bit higher because with hooded eyes, as you know, when you open your eyes, sometimes you can't see the color, so you have to blend a little bit higher. Now I am taking a MAC Chromaline in Black and a Smith brush, and I am doing some soft winged liner. This isn't a harsh winged liner. It is kind of like an off black almost. and this brush is amazing. If you struggle with wing liner, you have got to get this Smith brush. Now using that same dark brown and a Sigma Flat Definer E15 brush, I am going right underneath the base of Bianca's lashes, and I am not taking it in all the way. I don't want her eyes to be totally enclosed in liner, so I'm just taking it in about 3/4 of the way, and then also making sure I connect, sorry about the head there, connect the eyeliners together. Oh, and there's that harsh contour again. Darn, it's so frustrating. So this is what the eyes should look like. Now using a matte ivory shade and this flat shader brush, I am just highlighting underneath the brow. You don't want to use anything real shimmery when you have a heavy hooded lid because it just emphasizes that area even more. So now we're putting on a pair of wispies because Bianca loves her lashes. She actually used to have lash extensions and she showed up without them, so I was a little surprised, but I happened to have these on hand and she loved them. At this point, I go in and touch up any areas that I feel need to be intensified, or maybe add a little bit more shimmer to the lid. Here's where I sort of messed up again. I really should have zoomed out. I used the Becca Chrissy Teigen palette that's new, limited edition, and I used the blush that's in the palette, which looks so pretty. This palette is amazing for medium to darker skins. I don't love it that much on myself, but on her skin type and darker, it would be amazing. So now I'm using the soft gold from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just highlighting the tear duct area of Bianca's eyes. You guys, I apologize for not being zoomed out for this portion, but I mean, I think you guys know how to line lips. This is the Nice and Spicy lip liner from MAC. I did not overline her lips. She has gorgeous lips. And then after that, I used the Girl Actic lip paint in the shade Bashful, which you'll see in just a second. And then I remember to zoom out. And there we go. Nice job, Risa, for finally remembering to zoom out. And now I decided I was going to be adding some lip gloss to this look. This is an old school Benefit gloss in the shade Nudie Tootie. I love these glosses. I found this on eBay after seeing it from Beauty by Julie, who is one of my favorites. I just love her so much. She uses these glosses, so I went on eBay and I found them. And now I am touching up with a little concealer, and there she is in all of her gorgeousness. With all of its faults, I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Leave me a comment, a thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.